Joe Phantomaniacs. This is a big one. The amount of setup that this took was preposterous. I hope my microphone is working well. But here it is, the HasLab Cobra HISS tank. I had to figure out my lighting. I had to figure out my camera setup because this, dimensionally, this is different from anything else that I've reviewed. I've actually got like blue tape laid out so I know where the border is. I was going to do a little intro of, here's my face next to this big giant box, and it became this whole thing. So we're doing our standard issue top-down review. This thing is gorgeous. You can see the Semper Fidelis Cobra Semper Fidelis Serpens Cobra, glossy, beautiful logo. If you can see that kind of moving around there. This is the other difficult thing, is I don't know what you're seeing, but it's fine because this is going to be a great review, jam-packed with information and fun. The box could not possibly be any classier. It's heavy. This is not 10 pounds, as your FedEx invoices might have stated. Front of the box, this is gorgeous artwork. I mean, obviously we saw this artwork a very long time ago, but it's so striking in person, and it goes really nicely with our HISS Fire Team, which I will be reviewing probably. Well, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to review this, but this review will probably go up tomorrow. But just look at that synergy. Beautiful. All right. So, front of the box, I'm not going to, there's one side, and there is the other side. And then we've got a really nice sort of artsy silhouette type situation on the back. Just class all the way. This thing, I mean, we knew it was going to be good. If you've ever had a HasLab product before, you know they're top tier toys. They just are. And to go back to the beginning of this one, I have said it often on Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, which you can find every Friday wherever you get your podcast, or live right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, frequently on Mondays. I have said many times, I never wanted a 6-inch Joe line. It was of zero interest to me. And then, once they started with, I didn't show you the bottom. Once they started the 6-inch Joe line, I definitely, and part of the reason I didn't want a 6-inch Joe line is because, to me, vehicles are a critical part of G.I. Joe. And I just thought, well, you don't do vehicles for a 1/12 scale line, which they learned with Star Wars. Because every 1/12 scale Star Wars vehicle I have, every Black Series vehicle that I own, I got on deep, deep clearance. So G.I. Joe certainly was not going to support 1/12 scale vehicles, and yet here we are. Awesome blueprint, I guess red print, but blueprint style diagram on the back. This is a little weird because it looks like a Joker mouth from this angle that I'm at, but detailing all of the features. I'm stoked. I can't wait. So let's open it up. I don't know how easily this is going to open. I know the figures are in here, which it seems weird to me. I don't know why. I guess other crowdfund things I've gotten have just been packaged differently somehow. I don't know. So this is the outer shell. Oh, and we've got, okay, let me orient it correctly and not knock my camera over, preferably. So this is the outer shell, and then inside we've got a couple of trays that I hope are going to slide out more easily than, there we go, maybe. So there's one nice big tray with that beautiful Cobra logo emblazoned on the front. I'm going to guess this is the figures. I'm going to set that to the side for right now. And then we've got a box inside the box. I'm going to try to not knock over everything in this room. Again, including the camera. Oh, please. There we go. All right. So this is our HISS. Let's take a look at the figures first. Put some handles on these things. So here is the tray. I believe has the figures in it. And some instructions and some labels. We'll take a look at these because I learned my lesson about reading, for the 1000th time in my life, learned my lesson about reading the instructions when I reviewed the Mezco Roadblock. Please watch that review and watch how I break a very expensive toy. A little protective tissue paper. Oh man, look at that Cobra Commander. He is a beauty. Wow. Just take these out, set them to the side so we can actually get to these. So the HISS gunner, cool art on the front, and I'm gonna go to my normal workbench to do reviews for these as part of this video. So we're just gonna set these to the side for right now. Driver, and our fan choice, which was not my choice, but now I think I've turned around on it. Cobra HISS Tactician. And then, Cobra Commander. Now it's worth pointing out, we now know that we're getting retro carded Joes. Duke, Scarlet, and Recondo have been announced. And we also know that the card stock on those is going to be better than this card stock. Oh, but look at this. This is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to set those to the side. I will do a full separate review of the figures at the end of this video. Set all of our instructions over here and bring the tank back to the forefront where it should be. Here we go. Ooh. Yeah, not really much to look at yet. We're going to get all of our pieces out, and then I'll probably do a little stop and do some assembly, figure some things out. This isn't awkward doing this from this angle at all. Totally feels normal and natural. Absolutely how I would choose to do this were I not recording it. Oh man, it's big. It's big. It will still fit on the shelf. I think I just smushed my mic up against my chin. I apologize. It'll still fit on the shelf that I have cleared for it, or that I had cleared for it. I've got to re-clear it because it's become a catch-all shelf in the meantime. Oh, oh man. Look at those. We'll look at those closer in a minute, more closely in a minute. What else is in here? I'm completely flying blind. I have no idea where anything is or how it's working. Oh, it's a little lighter than I thought. Good gosh, it's huge. Oh, the dogs are going bonkers upstairs over something. I don't think I'm expecting any more deliveries today. All right, so that's everything. All right, So I said, I'm going to take a look at the instructions. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys by sitting here and reading the instructions in front of you, but I do want to pull everything out of this little packet and make sure it gets a look. Obviously, we have our legalese and more legalese. So great. Oh, I guess maybe one's for the figures, one's for... No, I don't know. Whatever. No point in speculating. Labels. Labels look cool. I do not think I will use them. I'll do a closer look. We'll do an up-close handheld view of the whole HISS later in the video. But I don't think I'm going to use the labels because I paid, what, $317 or whatever for this. I don't want stickers on it. Stickers, look, I love them on smaller, cheaper vehicles, but on something like this, I don't want stickers on this thing. So hopefully I'm happy with how they have it tampoed. Here are, oh gosh, so many more instructions than I anticipated. I got to keep in mind to orient these things towards you guys. So it has instructions for the seat belts, for the canopy, for just how everything interacts with everything else. And then for the searchlight, headlights, everything else, we'll take a look at all of that. So cool. Glad I don't just have to figure it out on my own. And now I can't wait any longer. Let's get this bad boy out of the plastic. I'm trying to figure out where to hold it. How about that in instructions? Where do I hold this thing? Where are the potential stress points? Where might I... Oh, okay, that was still in the thing. Where might I potentially crack something by touching it the wrong way with my big ogre hands? Oh my gosh. Look, there was no doubt in my mind. This is incredible. There was no doubt in my mind that this was going to be a top tier must have collectible. But seeing it here in front of me, this is simply, oh, look at this. Oh, there's no way this isn't the toy of the year. Look at how beautifully that ramp just slides right down. And like I said, we'll do a handheld close-up look at everything. Once it's assembled, I'll do the full tour. Trailer hitch. And let's hear, I can't wait any longer. Oh, baby. Those treads roll like a dream. Now, granted, this weighs a lot less than the... No, you know what? I'm not going to do the comparison thing. All I'll say is I have reviewed another tank around this size here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, and the treads did not roll like that. I don't want to roll it on my well, here, let's try. Yeah, I'm going to move my surface all over the place, my cover, if I try and roll it around on this. We'll do a roll test later on when I don't have my table cover here. Okay, so, oh my gosh, this is... And see, this is by sickness, right? Because I never wanted any 1/12 scale. This is incredible. I never wanted any 1/12 scale G.I. Joe vehicles, but now that I have this one, I want them all in 1/12 scale. And I guess I'll just have to tell my family to find another place to live. That's reasonable, right? That's something a sane person does. So we've got a couple of alternative cockpits here. Now, my assumption is that I should be wearing little gloves so my fingerprints don't smudge this beautiful crystal clear plastic. My assumption is that this pops into place the same way the original HISS canopy did, but I am not going to sit here and clumsily attempt that. No. I'm going to do another stop. Oh man, that won't... There we go. I'm going to do another stop so I can easily do a high speed for the assembly of this. Look at that. I know I talk about this kind of thing a lot, but oh gosh. But just crystal clear plastic, gorgeous. And look at those gull wing access doors. I don't know. I wish I had had the foresight to buy 2 of these. I really do. Because, I say that, but do I really want 2 of these to have to figure out where to display them? Because 2 of these are not going to fit on the shelf that I have set aside. Look at this. This turret is in a little plastic tray to preserve it, to make sure it doesn't get bent up. Ah, beautiful. I'm going to get sidetracked a lot during this review. I can tell that. Oh, I don't. Oh, no, wait. They're just not fully seated. Okay. I thought they were loose on the dog bones and that they were just wobbling around. But if you just put a little pressure, push them down, now they're seated fully and they all line up. Oh, that's a beautiful extra piece. So we've got the other one over here. Oh, what I was saying is, as much as I would like to have 2 of these, to give one the classic look and one the fully loaded out modern look, I don't really have the display space for 2. And then on top of that, when more HasLab vehicles come out, like, we got to figure out what we're doing with them. Where are they going to go? What is happening? Oh, that ratcheting. That ratcheting is delightful. That is a firm, clicky. Oh, wait. I just realized I've got my mic on, so you should be able to hear that. That's a nice, firm, clicky ratchet. And you can steer from the gunner's turret, it appears. My reaction here, how happy I am with just this so far, it's not so much surprise as just delight. Because I had every instinct was that this was going to be an incredible piece, a must-have, a landmark toy in every way. And if you want to Hasbro showboy me, you go right ahead. But the Classified series is one of the best executed toy lines on the market. That is just a fact. And I'm not saying it's perfect, because it is not. Watch my other reviews of Classified stuff, and you will know just how imperfect I've found some of their releases to be. But when they get it right, they get it so right that it transcends toys. Which, granted, HasLabs should be doing that anyway. A HasLab should transcend the toy business, should be more than just another thing that you put on your shelf. It should be an experience. And so far, every HasLab that I've backed has been exactly that. So, let's see here. Move things out of the way a little bit. I'm going to rearrange. I'm going to do a stop. I'm going to rearrange some things, get the instructions in front of me, and put this beast together. Okay, let's take a look at the figures, and I'll go ahead and tell you up front, I may zip through this a little faster than I normally do figure reviews, because this review obviously is already very, very long. I have tried to savor the unboxing experience as much as I can while also doing my reviewing and thoughts and everything else. So, anyway, here are the three main figures. We're going to set them to the side for just a moment and take a look at this retro Cobra Commander. You can see, I already pointed out that this cardstock is not as good as a matter of fact, ooh, chair noise, sorry. It's been a long day. I have been working on this review for 3 hours at this point. And I'm not anywhere near done. So you can see that this cardstock is not nearly as good as the Marvel cardstock, but we do know that the forthcoming retro figures are this style, because you can tell from the live stream that they're this folded over. You can see this is one piece of cardboard. They put the blister in, fold it over, and seal it. We can tell from the live stream that this is the quality packaging we're going to have on the new G.I. Joe Retros. So that's great news. This Cobra Commander does not have that, although he does have the white border, which I think is so needed. The art is weirdly... I don't know if they were trying to give it a comic booky look, but it has this strange sort of dot matrix pixelated something or other going on that I don't particularly care for. It distracts from the painted look that I want. Also not crazy about how they've got his helmet flared out so much. And it's not reflected in the figure. I gotta tell you, overall, I'm not very happy with this card. However, on the back, I love the fact that we just have a regular old file card. That's very nice. Although I have recently on Audible Interlude taken the stance that the multilingual file cards are just part of your G.I. Joe training. Learn those languages. I am not opening this Cobra Commander. We'll take a little look at it here. And believe me, I kind of want to, because I do want to have a Cobra Commander like this on my shelf, but I have zero attachment to that Mickey Mouse logo, as it's called. And as much as I do want this Cobra Commander, I will wait for the inevitable retro version. I don't want that on my shelf particularly. This means nothing to me. I didn't even know about the existence of the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander until we started the podcast. So this figure looks fantastic. All the sculpted wrinkles and everything make the uniform, to me, fit in with the classified aesthetic. I can't wait to have one that I can open, but for now, I'm putting this on eBay immediately. Like, right now. Okay, first up is the HISS driver number 99 in the classified series. You can see we've got a little different packaging here. And I wonder if even... I don't know if this would have had plastic in it, even with... that, like, this was packed into the box. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. This is what the box looks like. I love how clean everything looks. I love the artwork on the front. It just looks great. You've got the specialties on the side, but let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at this figure. Same interior. And here's the question now. I love no tape. No tape on the box at all. Really nice. For right now, I'm going to flatten this out. Someday, I will probably toss it, because I just don't save packaging, not even for HasLabs. Oh, they do have the little plastic things. Oh, and you know what else I don't love? They've got the full artwork rather than the grayscale on here. And I love that grayscale artwork so much. But still, I mean, look at that. That's just killer. Let's get our little plastic tabs cleaned up. And take a look at the HISS tank driver And this needed to be top notch. If the figure is part of a HasLab, it better knock it out of the park. It better be perfection. There better not be any issues with anything. And I got to say, thus far, it feels like that's the case. Look at that creepy helmet with the, oh, I didn't bring the HISS tank driver in here. Okay, hang on. I've got to go grab my HISS tank driver. Just because he came in a big box set doesn't mean we don't do a comparison. So at first glance, this absolutely captures the look of the original HISS driver, plus a nice little thigh holster going on here, which is appreciated. All the reds look good. I actually like the helmet and the chest plate piece here are a little glossier, but they look like armored pieces because of that. The armored boots are killer. The sculpt on these, the sharpness of them. I'm trying to get this holster kind of down, look a little more natural. I might just pull that off, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I mean, that's your HISS driver, 100%. And then now mine, as so many has lost the Cobra logo over time. But you can see you've got the holster, you've got the wrist communication device, which we'll look at in a second here. But side by side, this is a beautiful update of this figure. So let's zoom in a little. Just take in the detail. That serpent on the top of the helmet looks great. The little detail underneath the visor. And that is just awesome. I love these kind of touches. This is exactly the stuff I'm looking for in classified. Boots look killer. The boots are, oh, look, okay, so the ankle, the swivel is right there. The boots were one of the things I was most looking forward to with these, because in all the renders and everything that we saw, just the angularity of them looked so cool. That flatness in the front, the armor design, just looked awesome every time they showed it, and I was anxious to see it in person, and it looks awesome in person. He does not want to stay. There we go. That waist just wants to get slanted all the time. All right, so his driver looks phenomenal. Let's stand that off to the side and take a look at the likely. Oh, interesting. So the locker's designed a little bit differently than what we're used to. Minimal weaponry included here. I don't know why I'm feeling it necessary to fold that up on camera. All right, so get rid of our bag. We've got a couple of alternate gauntlet combat fists that are kind of a new and different thing for classified as of this release. Pretty cool. I'll go ahead and put them on there just to see what they look like. I think I'm probably going to have to take off the wrist scanner to get that on. Weird. I don't see myself using these. They're just kind of odd. And then the red around them is even more strange to me. I feel like this should be black. Just really, really weird pieces. I won't be using those. Oh, I'm not going to bother taking them off. I'm trying to get through this quickly. So there he is, ready for combat. It comes with a hand blaster that's pretty cool and has a port. And then a larger Stabo blaster. Just cool. Looks cool. The original pilot or driver did not have a firearm, so I like this. This is a nice design. Looks very Cobra-y. Well done. All right, let's slide all of that off to the side and take a look at our HISS gunner. Back out a little bit. This is a completely newly designed character. Was not existent in the original line, so I have nothing to compare it to. I would like to see some larger female frames in Classified. I don't love that every female we've gotten is this petite little waif. I would like to see some bigger, thicker women in the line. So let's get on that. Design team. But looks great. I think using a lot of the Valkyrie parts here, which is fine and appropriate. Obviously, boots are specific for this one. And this is essentially, and those drive me crazy when they're not quite in the right spot. Okay. Essentially just a female counterpart to that male figure. And as a pair, they look great. Everything moves nicely. Everything feels good. I wouldn't call anything gummy. Oh man, I just did that myself. Stupid holster. Everything is solid, moves well. Very satisfying ratcheting on her knees. Okay, so there is your HISS gunner. Looks great. Let's take a look at her loadout. Bonk. Yeah, well, she's going to be in a turret most of her life, so she doesn't have to stand up super well. I wonder if she comes with the same weird fist things. She does. I did not realize that. That's kind of, I appreciate it. Even though I won't use those, I appreciate that she has the same parts. So essentially, oh, she's got more though. She's got a much bigger loadout, which I was aware of, but pretty cool. So essentially, you could switch these two up if you want the female to be the driver and the male to be the gunner. It's you've got the accessories to make that happen. Same bladed blaster. Looks great. We've got a tactical shovel. Audible Interlude tactical shovels coming soon. That is a mean looking device. All kinds of interesting sculpting, wicked edges. This is as much a weapon as it is a tool. Got another. Oh, this is cool. Oh, clearly. I was like, which way does this go in? Maybe the way where the ammo is facing forwards. This is awesome. Another new piece. And the paint on the rounds adds a lot since there's no extra paint on the blaster itself. And I've explained why I say blaster in the past. I'm not going to do it every time. This is killer. This is one of my favorite weapons in Classified, possibly. Very cool. Got another tool here that is just sick. And then again, the same hand blaster and the two fists for punching. That again, I probably just won't be using, but I love that they both came with those. So there you go. There's your gunner. And finally, based on an original Ron Rudat design featuring package art by Ron Rudat, the HISS Tactician, which the fan poll, I voted for the one with the big silver kiss boots, but now I think this was the one that probably should have won. So let's open it up and take a look. I love the printed Ron Rudat signature on there. That's very cool. Yeah, this was probably the right choice. Because a tactician suggests something that's kind of a level above a driver or a gunner. And this uniform looks, it's a little more. It's different. It does look like sort of a different level of military specialist. So exact same everything as the driver, just in different colors. And looks good. This was, put them all together. And the HISS Fire Team, which I will be reviewing tomorrow, I guess. These are sliding all over the place. Which I will be reviewing tomorrow. And you're going to have a very formidable crew for your HISS tank. Just look at all those together. The one thing that I kind of wish this one had a silver Cobra emblem to tie them all together. But otherwise, very good. And everything feels, well, you get a little stiffness on this one. This one feels a little stiffer. I wonder if it's the color of the plastic. I don't know. But whatever the case, you can see very cool crew for your HISS. Let's take a look at the accessories for the Tactician. I can't remember if there was anything significantly different or not. Nope. So, but you do have some more paint. So that's cool. So you've got the same fists going on here, but your hand blaster has a nice red on it. And then this one also has some nice red detailing. So very cool. I like it. All right. There they are. HISS tank crew. Fantastic. Very happy with them. And I don't think this is the end of the video because these have to interact with the tank. So that's it for them for now. Okay. I'm going to try this. I don't know how well it's going to work. I may have to switch it up, but we'll see how this goes. So this is not an original HISS tank. This is one of the recent reissues that I believe was using the same mold as the original, though. And I have so many HISS tanks from the 25th, from
I can't justify spending the money it would take to get an original HISS tank. I will someday, but it's just not high on my priority list. But dimensionally, I just wanted you to see the difference in size and in detail between these two. Pretty insane. All right. Now that that's out of the way, I want to try and figure out the best way to show you some of the features that we've got here and have this interact with the figures. Let's move that. Okay, I think this should work. And I need both hands right now, which is why I'm doing it this way. We'll go to handheld in a little bit to look at some of the features a little more closely. But as far as the scaling of the HISS team, come on. Well, one of the biggest problems I have with Hasbro is when they put ratcheting joints on something. So frequently, the ratchets are not in the right place to get that thing to stand up. It boggles my mind. So there's our driver, our tactician, and our little petite gunner. And we'll just put them all kind of where they're meant to go. I am not going to have interaction with, I'm not going to put their hands on the grip stuff or whatever. I'm not worried about that, honestly. Let's move that over to the side. You can see where the gull wing pops up on this one. There's a little tab right up at the front here. And I'm not sure if there's a better way. I realize the pilot is not going to go in here. I just wanted to open that and show what it looks like. Very cool feature. There is an indent in the front where that just pops right open. And then your harness. Oh man, this is so wild. Let's do this. There's a reason to have this mobile armature camera situation that I've got going on here. So let's turn this around. Get it a little closer. There we go. Okay. All right. Bear with me. I am always a learning process with me of how to aim the camera. Okay, so obviously his legs are just going to kind of stick out to the front there. But I'm always learning how to deal with cameras, how to best get shots, how to show you how things work. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it's a little tough. I'll tell you what's tough is figuring things out for the first time while filming them. That's where the challenge is. All right, so utilize his ab crunch a little bit. Push him down in the seat. Push that harness down. Get his arms out of the way. Get your camera out of the way. And then you've just got a little plug that goes right in there. And then you just push in the side pieces have give. They pull out that far. Well, and then that comes undone. You can just plug that right back in. And then push those side pieces in. They're little slots, so there's give there. And now and look at this. Little articulated joystick. Crazy. And again, I'm not going to sit here and have them interact with every single piece of equipment. But that is how he goes in there. We'll get a closer look. Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying not to move my whole entire rig every time I reach around something. Oh, I accidentally turned the lights on. which is not the worst thing in the world. But when we go to review the lights, here, let me turn them back off. Oh, okay. When we go to review the lights, I'm going to turn the lighting down in here so they're going to show up a lot better. I just want to get through all the details of this before we get to that point, so you can see everything really well. Okay, so there's that. Turn our Canon back around. And I do kind of want to put her hands on this just to keep her in place. Nah, that's fine. So you can see again the scale of this. If you have classified figures, you can see just how big this thing is in comparison. So now let's get this turned all the way around. Got a little rolling in, very nice. And I'm going to flip that up. Our trailer hitch is already, you can see how that flips up and down. Open up that back, which turns the light on automatically, which I don't know if I realized that. And then we've got our little jump seat back here that moves up and down. Potentially comes out entirely, I'm wondering. Oh, guess what? Look what I still have sitting over here. Instructions. So according to the instructions, the jump seat just moves up and down, which is fine. Whatever. I'm not going to take it out of there because I think it's cool. So we'll get our tactician, knees bent. I don't know how he's going to best fit in there. Oh, that's too high. That ain't going to work. And he kind of just sits right there. And we'll do, again, I'll do a handheld tour of everything. And that closes right up. And now your classified HISS, just waiting for that SMS, is all trooped up and ready to go. Whoop. I keep inadvertently hitting the lighting. Okay, so look at that. Geared up, kick butt war machine. Almost forgot how family friendly I was. I was so excited. I mean, I don't know that could be any cooler. All right, so now I'm going to go in and kind of gear everything up, get everything situated, and maybe swap out just to give it the more classic look for the close-up tour. Well, no, because I feel like we need a close-up here. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's take this thing home, get into some details, get my lighting so it's not quite shining so bright on that canopy. You can see just the rivets, all of the detail, and just this portion right up here. I guess I gotta traverse. We'll get into those purple cannons in a minute. Oh my gosh, I got that open no problem a minute ago, and now I can't quite get my fingernail into there, so I'm going to cheat. Open those up and do it that way. There we go. Because obviously we want to take a look inside. Just this looks so cool. You can see all of the details in there. Just really unbelievable. And again, we'll turn the lights on in a little bit. These obviously removable. Oh, and it's not, well, it is dog bone, but look at the unique design of that. But then each of these looks great and has a port on the back. Now that's too big for any of the blast effects that are currently available, but let's not rule out a future something or other that could work with that. And you can see here where those panels, I mean, you can just leave that entirely open if you want to. But these all turn. You can see the mechanism and the way that works. I just smushed my finger in that gear right there. That was fun. But you can see that engineering there, just very, very cool. Up here, the details in your turret. Let me try and get it where the light isn't quite so glary. And then just even these. These are a softer plastic and don't turn. I'm going to close that back up so I don't inadvertently knock that. These don't turn super great. I wouldn't put a lot of pressure on them. It might almost be easier to just pull them out and put them back in when you want to turn them, which seems a little ridiculous. I wish these posts were not. They're a softer plastic, and I wish they were a little more rigid. But you can see, look at the detailing on this. Just the paint right there. Really, really nice pieces. Beautiful Cobra Tampo. And when we turn it, oh, and here is closer look at the boarding ladder that does click into place. Let's turn that around so you can see the back. Get the lights back here. Fold up tow hitch, and then this folds up and opens for the ramp and access to the interior. I almost like that it's so cramped back here because I don't think Cobra really cares about the comfort of its troops very much. And you can see the rack that holds the tools. I'm going to give it a sort of on the shovel because that's not really staying in place very well. But then it's got loops for the other piece over there. And then these, they have to kind of overlap. It's not the best fit in the world, but it works. But I have learned my lesson after reviewing the Razor Crest not to try and put things like that in place on video. It's crazy. Fortunately, this is much, much larger, and I didn't have as much of a problem with it. You can see the light up there in the ceiling. And our tactician, who is quite frankly ready for us to just take off. So we'll leave him back in there. Got the bar on the back for any troops you put on the back, maybe the fire team to hang on to. And oh, look at how nicely that, even though my surface is getting bunched up right now, the treads just roll so nicely. So the purple, let me try and get a little, there we go. The purple on those cannons, I don't love it, but if it's fitting into the lore that this thing is using Energon as an offensive material, I'm okay with it, but I would rather it not be there. I'm not mad about it, but I'd rather it not be there. And then the same thing on the chin turrets here. You can see, which, by the way, let's just take a look. Just gorgeous. Love the Cobra emblem. And the chin turrets have the same effect on them. I don't love it, but it's not ruining anything for me. And then these do angle up and down. And they also, well, they're removable, but Oh, they're going to get in the way of the light once I do that. So I need to pull that off anyway. But anyway, and then there's your front end, which lit up is going to look awesome. So there you go. So here's what I'm going to do now. I think we've taken enough of a look at the detailing and everything. This thing is a massive hulk of a war machine. I am going to strip it down to a classic HISS look, and then we're going to mess with the light up features. Hopefully this lighting is dim enough for you to be able to see the electronics really well. We'll find out. So there's a button under the chin here that you can't see because I turned the lights off, but it's a big square button, very easy to accidentally hit, actually, as I did several times during this review. Let's move the turret back around. The more you move the turret around, the easier it gets to move. Okay, so if you hit the button once, that turns on your instrument panel. Look how gorgeous this canopy is. It is going to be hard for me to decide which way to display this. So let's open the canopy up so you can get a really good look inside there. It just looks fantastic. So that's one press, and any light effect that you turn on will, if you don't turn it off, which, by the way, I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to clip that closed. By the way, to turn it off, you do a long press till it flashes, and then another press and it turns it off. So one click gives you the instrument panel. Another click gives you that awesome Cobra light that I was thinking it could be adjusted, but well, here, let me do this. This will be easy enough. Look at that. That's killer. What have I got going across? Oh, that's my surface. I was like, oh my gosh, is my lens cracked? But no, that's just my surface there. So that's how awesome that looks. Look at that. Imagine that coming at you in the middle of the night. A third press gives you the headlights. We're just going to stay in the dark here because I can manage this. And the tail lights. Oh my gosh, look at how bright those headlights are. They're like real headlights. Holy cow. Watch out, Batman. The hiss is coming for you, fool. Okay, so tail lights, so that's 3 presses. 4 presses gives you the... What does 4 presses give you? Is that more running lights, or is that just brighter? 5 presses turns off the Cobra. 6 presses turns off... Oh, whoa, okay. We'll cycle through it again in a second. 7 turns off your cockpit and just leaves this cool red, like Knight Rider looking forward light. Turns off your rear lights as well. 8 presses does that and the Cobra symbol, which is like ultimate menace. And then 9 presses, turns everything back off. So let me turn, okay, we'll go through the cycle one more time. 1 press, cockpit, and front red menace light. 2 presses, Cobra light. 3 adds your headlights and your tail lights. 4 adds those running lights underneath. 5 turns off the Cobra light. 6 turns off the running light. 7 turns off the cockpit, 8 turns the Cobra light back on, and 9 turns everything off. Wow. This is, oh, it's blurry. Hey. Okay, there we go. This is an absolute masterpiece. I have nothing. Let me get the lights back on and we'll wrap this thing up. This HISS tank, in my opinion, does everything you could possibly want a HISS tank to do at any scale. It has this classic look. It has the armed up, which again, I think I'm going to go with the fully armed look because to me, classified is the like plussed up version of the originals. But what more could I want out of a HISS tank? This is just absolutely amazing. What? Oh no! I forgot I flipped it over. Our tactician does not have a safety harness like our driver does. It's not only is it a massive accomplishment for Hasbro for G.I. Joe Classified, this is a landmark toy. This is incredible. I would be so angry if I did not have this. There we go. In my collection. I really do wish I had gotten 2. I gotta say, because I want one like this and one the other way. But this is incredible. It really, truly is. I hope if you want one, I hope you got one. If you weren't able to get one, I hope you can get one for not too outrageous a price. I will say this, give it some time. Personally, I wouldn't jump on it immediately because typically with these crowdfunded things, right when they come out, they're very, very expensive. And then prices do kind of get into a lull for a little while before coming back up and then just continuing to escalate. Go look at, historical prices for the Razor Crest, for, some other things that have come out for the Sky Striker. Although I don't know that the Sky Striker is a good example because I think a lot of people didn't find that as essential eventually as a Sentinel or Galactus or something like that. But whatever the case, this is beautiful. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Tomorrow I will be reviewing the HISS Fire Team, and I will put them on this HISS tank. We're going to load this thing up. And until next time, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.